Hey, I'm back from the Fluttercon 23 and I had the pleasure to talk with Iman. Sadly, the microphone did not record as I wished it had to. So that means the sound quality is quite bad. But what he is telling us about Firebase extensions is still very valuable, so I thought, please publish it anyway. If you like that video anyway, hit the like button. If you don't, please leave me a comment what I should do better in the next time. Thank you so much. And now let's hear what Iman wants to say to us. So hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Flutter Explained. Today I have the joy to talk with Iman. He's here at the Fluttercon and represents Firebase Extensions, I guess. And we will talk today a little bit about Firebase Extensions, and I'm so glad that you are here. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Likewise. Thanks for the warm intro. My name is Iman. I'm on Firebase Extensions. I've been with the product for about 3.5 years since I joined Google. I started right with Firebase Extensions, and I've been on the product since.
Great. So would you like to elaborate a little bit what are Firebase Extensions and how did they even manage to be a product inside of Firebase?
So extensions were introduced in 2019. Basically, they are a way for back-end developers, Cloud Function developers, and Google Cloud developers to package some of the resources they build into solutions that can be installed by others. So you, for example, you build a solution to, let's say, resize images into thumbnails, or build a solution to integrate Firestore with your own API. And you want to share it with others. You want to share it with others so they can easily install it instead they copy the code, manage through like deploying resources and all that. You build a Firebase extension, you publish it, and the developers can install it easily and use that in their project.
That means we have the possibility to write our own extensions, but why would I do that?
Sure. So there are many reasons somebody would want to build an extension. First is you came up with a cool solution. You want to share it, like every open source developer. Extensions are open source. So like every open source developer, for the joy of developing something useful for the community, you build an extension. We have many examples of that developed by developers who found an interesting solution to a problem they solved themselves, or something is an add-on to Firestore, to another like storage, one of the technologies in Firebase or Google Cloud. They just built and published it. Then there are companies who provide service through APIs. Stripe, Algolia, TypeSense, these are companies that have built extensions. They generate revenue through selling their service via APIs. What they do is they build an extension to integrate a Google technology, a Firebase technology, with their technology. For example, Firestore, if you want to run full text search on Firestore, you can install the TypeSense extension or the Algolia extension, Elastic extension. They integrate with Firestore, they index Firestore into their own indexing engine, and you can query your Firestore data via their engine. And you will be paying them for the, after free tier, using their free tier, you will be paying for their service. So it's a way for these companies to generate revenue, bring more developers by simplifying the integration process. Then there's also startups. You built a startup around an API service. Your target are developers. You want to grow your business through developers. What you can do, you want to tap into the millions of developers that use Firebase. It's a great way for your startup to get a boost initially. So we see startups joining Firebase, the publisher program, and publishing their extensions as a way to get visibility, to be published on the extensions.dev website and get their developers, solve their developer problems, and also be listed on extensions.dev.
Fantastic. So quite a lot of opportunities there actually. It's very surprising. So we had today a very cool workshop where you had the opportunity to explain how extensions are created at the end. And we have here a lot of young, motivated Flutter developers who probably will have a look into extensions. So what would be your roadmap more or less to get started with their first extension on Firebase?
So starting from why you would build an extension as a Flutter developer. If you build a Dart package, right? If you're building a Dart package, sometimes it's because if you think, can I augment this with backend functionality? Like, can I improve it, like make it easier for them? If I'm implementing like a Dart package for payments, maybe I can also provide the backend as an extension. So it would be much easier for my developers to use it. That's a way to think about Firebase extensions, and you can easily like integrate them together. Like once we were thinking internally, like how would a Dart package use a backend? Like one example that came to mind was shake to report. Like you shake your phone to report an issue. Yeah. For that, like a dialog box pops up, something detects the shaking. I'm not an expert in Flutter, but you know better. But then there would need to be a backend to receive that and store that somewhere and probably report that. All of that can be developed as an extension. So when a developer wants to add that feature to the app, they install the Dart package and they install the extension, so they have the full front end and client and backend functionality together. If Flutter developers would like to start, there are tons of resources. There's like every other Firebase technology. There are docs that we have on publishing extensions. Stack Overflow is the best place to ask questions. We constantly monitor them, and we answer questions there. And there's always like, you can also reach out to myself, my team. We're always happy to help.
So some code labs.
And there are code labs. And there are code labs.
So you will find them all down in the video description.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Cool. So that means you can create these cloud functions extensions and create everything there. You have your API. I think that's quite an amazing solution, right, to the problem, and everyone can share that very easily. What is your favorite extension so far? Because I saw today there is like that extensions.dev. There are a lot of different packages. It works like pub.dev. You have your package of an extension. So which one is your favorite so far?
So I love the ones that independent developers have like sat down, they developed an extension and passionately maintained it. We had quite a few developers sign up. We had an early access program before Google I/O, where Google I/O was when we made an announcement that this is open to all developers. And the ones I love the most are like developers that are passionate about what they're building, and they come and join and they build their extension. Why is that? Because you see they are more engaged with features. They reach out to ask questions. They reach out for more features. They have requests, and we try to like see how we can solve their problems. I'm not going to name one or the other, but my favorite are the ones that passionate developers come to the platform and use it. They actually bring a lot of energy to the team internally.
Then one question is a little bit off topic, but you are in the product for Flutter, Firebase Extensions, and now what is your other passion? Do you have any like hobby or special? Do you write code even? I don't know.
So as a manager in Google, you get less to write code and more to like deal with a lot of things that the product has. So the fortunate thing about Firebase Extensions team, it's a very small team, but we are very closely knit, and each of us have different passions in terms of technology, in terms of product, in terms of user experience, developer experience, roadmap, things like that. And we collaborate very effectively. Like we are flexible. Like my product manager, like we work together very closely. We develop the roadmap of the product together. He has opinions on the tech. I have opinions on the product. The team also, like they are free to get involved in any stage of the product. This is, I think, like this is the thing that gets me most excited about Firebase Extensions, is that it's an end-to-end product with a lot of challenges, with a lot of like surfaces to cover. We have partners, publishers, open source ecosystem, platform side.
And not work related?
And not work related, well, I don't know, I have a ton of passions, but I don't know if the audience is interested, but I like running, hiking, I like, I'm a lot into like, I'm an Iranian Googler. I actively try to, there are a lot of like issues for Iranian Googles that I try to actively participate and try to help with. We have products in Google which can be enabled for Iranians, like due to sanctions. They are like under sanctions, but some of them are not. So we try to discuss these internally and find the solutions that can legally be opened up for them. So that's one of my interests. Outside of work, I do coding myself. I do explore new technologies. I do explore like what's the latest and the greatest in web, in mobile development. And I also enjoy leadership, reading about leadership, different ways that leaders can exert influence, things like that. Yeah.
Fantastic. So then brings me to my last question. As I already mentioned, we have a lot of young, motivated developers around Flutter. What would be your tip that you would give them away?
Yeah, I would say as you go through like Flutter, learning Flutter, growing in Flutter, definitely experience and get yourself exposed to more technologies out there. Get yourself exposed at least understanding the foundation, and then think about the end-to-end user experience. Something that we developers might tend to forget is that we enjoy the development so much, but we forget that the development experience that we have is because of someone focusing on the developer experience. And if we enjoy that, it's because like there have been hours and hours and hours of optimization for the developer experience. Now apply that, your users are entitled to the same joy. Focus on the user experience, make sure you're not only focusing on enjoying the product, enjoying developing the product, but transfer that joy to your users as well. Be it investing time in product, investing time in user experience. There are roles for this. You could pick these on, and it's a good thing that the developer is aware of these concepts, and you could rely on others. But these are roles that you should definitely collaborate with more effectively.
All right. So thank you very much for your time. I wish you a pleasant rest of your day here at Fluttercon. And yeah, thanks so much. Thank you for watching. Until the next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Anything
Bye.
you want to say?
No, thanks. Bye.
Cool.